Okay, we are watching ReviewTechUSA, A Rich History of Failure.
USA is a tragic case. One of
Switch to Chrome to protect yourself from malware, so you can surf without getting phished.
ReviewTech
Let's get that back up. Thank you, advertisement, for breaking.
USA is a tragic case.
Okay,
One
here
of
we go.
instability where both ends of the emotional spectrum play against him.
Because you're dumb, and your kids will be dumb.
You don't come to a stream for someone else's baggage.
What? Rich was angry and then crying?
You know what I mean?
These extreme reactions
It's
are coming
bipolarism.
out at the lowest point of his channel, which previously released highly irrelevant, low-effort videos taking service-level glances at gaming news or subjects parallel to gaming. Though this is no longer the case. Now Rich's focus is on streaming and producing music to little avail. He's either too subdued by intoxicants, where dead air and awkward pauses fill his streams,
Yeah, I love
or
ReviewTech
sober and anxious, lashing out at those he feels have wronged him, like his former editor, Jay.
You're the sidekick everywhere you go. You couldn't.
How do you
cut
know
it.
he's
That's
a
why you
sidekick?
became my editor.
Rich's self-destruction has also unearthed a history of
That
doxing.
might be true.
Poor research that at one point had the former president of Sony call him stupid, and a history of lies and drama that were
Wait,
almost forgotten.
called him stupid? Really? Wow, that's quite an achievement, isn't it?
But are coming back to form a rich history of failure.
I want to know this history of failure.
In late 2009, a channel named ReviewTechUSA began uploading. This was Rich Masucci's, an American
2009.
man with a tech background,
he's
second
Italian.
attempt at YouTube.
Yeah, boy.
Uploaded was video after video of video game consoles spanning virtually all console generations, from the Atari 2600 to the then modern Xbox 360. These were off the cuff, simple overviews of the consoles where Rich of ReviewTechUSA often interjected his own stories with the devices. The same could be said about his other videos that range widely on topics. This one was playing into a stereotype that women enjoy being on the phone longer. This video, though titled Is Steve Jobs Dying?, was really about Rich's experience with Apple products and the history of Apple. Those looking to find facts would scarcely find it on this channel. This could work to Rich's benefit. While he was not very keen, nor uniquely knowledgeable of the products he was reviewing, he was very opinionated and confident in what he was saying. This means he had much to say and many videos to make, evidenced
it's like
by his
me.
catalog. And after about a year or so of content creation, his beliefs had become established. Rich was a fan of console gaming, believing it was superior because of its ease of access and affordability
it's
against
superior,
PC's
even though I have a
customizability
really
that
good
also
PC.
lends to its complexity. Taking a side in this never-ending debate meant that his opinions resonated with those that preferred consoles, and those audience
I
members
prefer
would become
consoles.
easier fans of Rich. But the same could be said about the opposition, all of which could be found inhabiting the same tech space. Blackbuster Critic, or BBC for short, was a creator that pushed PC gaming over consoles. This, in late 2010, eventually led to a light feud between the two, and an online debate hosted by the BBC.
So I'll let you have the post first, or the stand, or the soapbox, or whatever the hell you want to call it, and then we'll go from there.
What do you want me to talk about first?
State the case of why, PC gaming is superior for everybody.
After about an hour-long debate, Rich concedes.
I'll be the first to admit that he owned me.
All right,
I'm
my
saying it.
friend.
I'm the man right here saying it. So, you won't have a good holiday, and I will, even though I am owned, I will still put this video up on my YouTube channel because they wouldn't be right of me not to do it. So, have a good one, man. It was great talking with you.
What a nice
While
guy.
things were cordial between BBC and Rich, they were not exactly friendly. At least not in the same sense of the channels that were promoting Rich's channel on their own YouTube pages like 3 Kilobytes, specifically Mike and Jay.
And I'm Jason for 3 Kilobytes. My last name is Hoof, and I like to build houses in Minecraft.
Whenever Rich hit a milestone, like a subscriber goal or obtaining YouTube partnership, which meant he could earn ad revenue from his YouTube videos, he made sure to thank these channels.
They've helped me out big time, especially Jay. I communicate with him the most, and
Jay.
thank you so much, man. Honestly, the reason I hit 1,000 subs, the second half of it is mostly due to his help. And of course, as many of you know, because probably like 80% of the subscriptions have been from them, is 3 Kilobytes. all of them, of course, but especially Jay and Mike. Honestly, my channel is where it is because of what Jay, Mike, and Kat have done to promote me.
By 2011, things were going well for Rich. Not only was he earning some revenue from his channel, he was remaining somewhat consistent and fair with his losses, going as far to release a video titled "I Can't Defend Consoles Anymore."
Right now, folks, I know a lot of people are going to jump below and write comments saying they can't build a PC, or it's too hard, or it's too technical. No, it's not.
This was inspired by the infamous hacking of the PlayStation Network that effectively brought the online services down for months. Though he did not abandon the videos on the debate, as this was still one of the largest draws of his channel. These were alongside clickbait videos that were presented outwardly as his research, to then be revealed that Rich was reading from a singular article while interjecting some of his opinions. His channel covered a wide range of topics, now even adapting the commentary tropes of the time, like commentary over footage of an unrelated game. Because of the undistilled nature of his channel, his views were hardly consistent. Most videos hovered around 5,000, but some reached hundreds of thousands of views. With Rich increasing his output to now nearly a video a day in late 2012, his views were slowly but surely starting to pick up. Being that he did a face reveal that same year meant that in 2013 he did not shy away from creating vlogs. But Rich was unsatisfied with the equipment he was using. The camera specifically was not HD and had a very low frame rate. And if he did make more vlog-style videos, he could negate the possibility of copyright claims that came from using gameplay footage. What Rich wanted was a new high-definition camera. This is what inspired the video, "I Need Your Help," which has long since been removed from his channel, but archived third-party compilations that demonstrate how catastrophic not so much this video was, but the endless responses and poor handling of what should have been a simple situation.
Yes, I know I'm going to be called an e-beggar no matter what I say, but I'm doing this with a twist that no one else has done, because I don't just want your friggin' money. I really don't. I honestly don't. What do I need? I need a camcorder for the show, straight up. Using gameplay footage, I'm constantly dealing with getting copyright claims on my videos.
Rich goes on to explain how he would avoid the title e-beggar by donating the $500, which is the amount he was seeking for the camcorder, a year after he receives the funds, to a charity of his audience choice. What's more, if the donation goal is exceeded, he will refund any of that excess money. This is overly complicated. Even for 2013 YouTube that was less accepting of creators petitioning for money or earning it through sponsorships, the depths that Rich was going to just avoid being called an e-beggar, something only the smallest sections of his audience would even care about, exposed that as an insecurity and point that he could easily be pressured by, easily trolled from.
The only people that pissed me off, even though I expected it, is when people said they donated, and I would see like the same small group of trolls like going around and attacking people.
It did not take long for Rich to get that money via donations. He even bought a cheaper camera that was about $140 less than expected. But he made the mistake of addressing the trolls and the BBC.
So I went out and bought a new tool. A Sony HDR 260V. And let me tell you right now, it is a phenomenal camera. And I bought this
the best one.
with my own money. How about that?
That was the Blackbuster critic. While he did not mention Rich or ReviewTechUSA by name, he did expose the criticisms that he knew bothered Rich. This was bait, and Rich readily took it.
It's your old buddy Rich from ReviewTechUSA or ReviewBegUSA. You've had some colorful things to say about me. Let's just do it the good old-fashioned way and debate it live on Skype and see how it goes. The offer's on the table, buddy.
Hey, he's doing it
Hopefully
right.
you accept.
Not only did Rich flub this situation by taking the bait, he also challenged the BBC to a debate, which the BBC readily accepted.
What I said could be applied to a lot of people. But this one particular person personally came to my video and was talking trash. And if you want to come out and Skype me and debate like you say you do, and I know plenty of things, plenty of questions to ask you.
Skype is the best, dude. I miss Skype. Can we bring Skype back? We have Discord now. Yeah, I know we have Discord now, but Skype was just truly special. I use Skype all the freaking time.
Which you're gonna goof up on. Just like in our last debate, how I led you by the hand like a child encountering your own points. That's what's gonna happen again.
This debate did not come as Rich failed to show, but he did release a video showing that he did purchase the camcorder and did not pocket the donations. While the BBC continued to respond, what was more important was that Rich's responses and continually addressing this drama was inviting more and more trolls that Rich was responding to.
Master Flex, everyone out there who's deeply concerned about what I'm doing, you need to, don't go into the whole thing, oh, I'm trolling, I'm just mind messing with you. You personally messaged me, told me to calm down. It's flattering, bro, it really is. I'm glad, just make a video once in a while proving that you have a life and put a woman in your thumbnail and we'll all be impressed by what you do.
Even the videos showing the receipts for the donations were directed towards his trolls rather than his supporters.
Yeah, I didn't realize
all I can
Rich
say
was
is
around for so long.
I'll never do it again.
I thought
I hope this proves now that I wasn't trying to, scam anybody or do anything under the table or be unethical. And for everyone out there who's going to go into the whole thing now, that I was just looking to get a tax break on my taxes. Do you really think I would? I didn't even think of that until after people said it. Do you really think I would have went through all this crap to save 30 or 40 bucks over a year from now?
It turned out that Rich owning this new camcorder and all the turmoil that Rich invited was for naught.
I like the gameplay footage better. It's more laid back. Like 90% of people in the comment section were like, yeah, just, keep it gameplay footage and, use the camera for other things with ReviewTechUSA. I'm like, oh, okay.
This information came from a video where Rich announced that YouTube was now his full-time job. Though it grew steadily for the past 3 years, it was not until now that his YouTube channel was outperforming his job in terms of pay. And with all his time placed in his channel, the results were immediate. Month after month, his views kept doubling as his output of videos increased like never before. Everything increased. His revenue, his views, and the trolls that increasingly targeted Rich.
Okay, real quick, below is my real ReviewTechUSA Twitter account. I don't even really like Twitter, but what I found out in my YouTube comment section is someone made a fake ReviewTechUSA account and was going around saying very, very colorful things on Twitter.
That was only a minute-long video addressing a fake Twitter account, but rants about his trolls kept seeping into videos that hardly needed to involve them.
You're the smartest person on the planet. Doesn't matter how well spoken you are, anything, you are going to deal with trolling, and it is going to get to you.
That was from his 100,000 subscriber thank you video. Discussion of trolls takes up about 1/3 of it. And though Rich states that no one is infallible when it comes to trolling, only 2 minutes later he states that he is.
The why trolls don't get to me because I know exactly what their motivation is, and they're pathetic people.
The story Rich is telling is one of a troll that was going through hardship and was taking their frustration out on Rich. From this, he deduces trolls are pathetic, unwittingly inviting their company and encouraging their existence.
Something constructive instead of, hanging out with your wife or girlfriend or family, or you just going out and doing something else. You think it's a better idea to go on the internet to try to aggravate or piss off or insult someone else. That's the lamest excuse I've ever heard. That's the most pathetic thing I've ever heard.
Not everyone that increases their output of content sees increases in adverse effects. But that was exactly what was going on with ReviewTechUSA still. More strong opinions, news stories that were not as accurate as they should have been, more reasons to dislike him.
Now, I will say the issue I'm about to talk about was resolved, but it was after I screamed like a lunatic and was raging, and it shouldn't have been this way. I was not happy with the customer service I received, and that's why I'm making this video, and I gotta call them out on it.
This was the start of a series of videos that showcased how Rich was at the center of his problems, molding minor inconveniences into something larger, then directing them to his general audience, who would typically diagnose Rich as
but I thought they were really
interesting. In this video, Rich
though.
discusses an issue with the return of his graphics card, the GTX 770, to the vendor Newegg. Not because there was anything wrong with it, but because he wanted a different card. a slight upgrade which was the GTX 780. This is an extremely minor upgrade. Regardless, Rich went through with it and sent the card back, including a voucher for Arkham Origins. This rich details was taped to the outside of the card box, not the shipping box. Being that it was still outside, there is a possibility that it was lost when unpackaged at Newegg. For this reason, Rich's refund was initially voided.
As soon as she said she was returning the item to me, I saw red. Okay, this is a $450 friggin' card that's being bounced all over the country, and I lost it. I started screaming, "This is fucking bullshit. Are you fucking kidding me? I've been a customer with Newegg for years, and I'm getting an item returned over a piece of paper. What, I thought everything was, what UPC code are you talking about?
He's
this is absolute
right.
bullshit.
Well,
I can't believe I'm being treated like this."
But I would be pretty
And the thing
pissed.
the whole time,
Yeah,
she's like,
for sure.
"Listen, sir, I'm sorry. Listen, sir, I'm sorry. Listen, sir, I understand why you're upset, sir." While I'm screaming, which also irritated me, I'm like, "Stop talking over me."
Rich goes on to say he did not regret his outburst, and he did get that refund. And even though he got his way in the end, he still believes Newegg is majorly at fault.
The bottom line is that that is not a way to treat a customer.
While Newegg did incorrectly void the return, it was Rich's demeanor and rage at a service employee that was not responsible for the mishap that displeased his...
You missed the Boogie one. Okay, ReviewTechUSA, this one's been pretty good so far, but Boogie was literally hysterical. He is crazy. I thought you were playing it. No, I wasn't playing it. You missed a few people popping in. You missed Girlbot. You missed Sadie. You missed Kang. A few people popped in here while you were gone. Punzi had to go eat dinner, but yeah. But the Boogie video, I was laughing my balls off, dude. He literally, I didn't know Boogie tattooed liar to his face for faking cancer, dude. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? But we're on ReviewTechUSA.
Additionally, this was seen as boasting.
I want to know
with
why.
Rich likely seeing himself as someone who was stalwart in the refund he deserved, rather than
we have two
down
videos left. We have ReviewTechUSA right now, and then coming up we have one on Sniper Wolf, and then will be the end of the stream.
An employee who was restricted from making an equally furious retort, therefore defenseless. The top comment of this video reads, quote, "Don't lose it with frontline personnel. It's not their fault. They get paid a shitty wage to protect their supervisors and managers from the public. Rip into supervisors and managers by all means."
I don't know.
That's
it was sent to
unquote.
me. All of
the
these are
majority
sent
of
to me.
comments echo this sentiment, while others comment.
I tell you what, until yesterday, I released a video of me being, I got drunk and released a video of Sniper Wolf on YouTube. And I got some not comments, but people sent me information on her. I never watched a Sniper Wolf video before, so I watched one yesterday. Do you know how awful her content is? I sit there and I'm thinking, holy crap. It's like me, but she doesn't say anything. And her jokes are bad. And she has no stories. It's like, it's a whole new level. But I want to talk more about that on that video. Right now we're on ReviewTechUSA because apparently he quit YouTube. ReviewTechUSA is a channel I watched growing up as a kid. I watched this guy, so I'm kind of interested in why he sucks so bad.
About the chaotic harvesting of dirt in the Minecraft footage being played, likely because his brother was responsible for recording the footage. Rich then posted one of the longer negative responses he got onto his Facebook. Not once, but twice. This was only one of the videos that was poorly received in October 2013. The second was titled PS4/Xbox One Launch Disaster Imminent. Please share.
I got all of this information from very, very reliable sources, okay?
Are you sure about that?
I'm just going to call them little birds. I can't even give you their gender. Because if you found out any information about them, or if a big company found out any information,
they're little birds.
they would be screwed and blacklisted, and I would be screwed along with them.
Rich plays into how high profile his source is, and then breaks down all that he was told.
Well, I have some bad news for all the guys who were hating on the Xbox One, but it's going to be 720p on both the PS4 and Xbox One. So what are my thoughts on all this information?
Oh, ReviewTech
Well, I hope
USA
the sources that I have are
He
wrong.
lied. Whoa,
There were a
level
few
21,
speculations
wow.
in that video that were on the wilder side. Luckily, Rich got his wish granted. A user sent Rich's video to Shuei Yoshida on Twitter, then the unexpected happened. Yoshida, the president of Sony, responded with 2 words directed at Rich. So stupid. Besides being humiliated by the president of Sony, nothing much happened. Rich did warn of the possibility that the information may not be 100%, and his continued success.
Wait, the president of Sony called ReviewTechUSA stupid? Dude. That's so funny. Oh, I love it, as he says on his Xbox.
Overshadowed whatever negative attention he got. It took only 6 months after this for him to hit 200,000 subscribers. And like his 100,000 sub video, when discussing his channel, Rich talks quite a bit about trolls and drama. This time the discussion took up about half of the video.
Yeah.
Don't let the drama get to you, because once you go down that path of getting defensive and making videos defending your honor, quote unquote,
that's exactly what you
you're
did.
down that slippery slope, and sometimes you can't get back up from it.
To direct entertainment in a way that reflects what the audience wants to see rather than to vindicate the creator is sage advice.
Okay.
Don't make your personal problems become part of your channel. You can't, man. You gotta keep your personal problems off. And if you're having problems that you just don't feel like making a fucking video, don't make a video.
This is the safest route to content creation. But has Rich had the willpower or stability to follow through?
I took down the Patreon account. And many of you are going to wonder why. Some of you think I was trying to sweep it under the rug, which is another reason why I wanted to make this video, because no, here, this video is staying up and people will know that I had a Patreon campaign posted temporarily.
For a period, Rich had a Patreon active in 2014. Its purpose was to make his videos ad-free, but it vanished as quick as it went up.
The second reason, and this is honestly the straw that broke the camel's back, the second reason that I took down my Patreon account,
why would he do that?
Is these same people, advertisement videos, like say when I had an unboxing for Dollar Shave Club or Loot Crate, so on and so forth, were the same people who were also complaining about me doing the Patreon campaign. I do a YouTube commentary channel where I comment on news and talk about my opinions and have a fucking blast doing it. And if that pisses you off, that either means one of two things. You're delusional or you're jealous. And if you are jealous, you need to get out of the house more.
This video was released only 6 months after his 200,000 subscriber video. It shows that the innocuous claims of e-begging still holds power over him. It also shows that, contrary to the new Ed video, he is not stalwart in his beliefs or what he does. This was a major criticism as shown in the comments of this video. Quote, please never get involved with politics. What a flip-flop. I am disappointed in you, Rich. I thought you were made of stronger stuff than this. Why take down your Patreon account? Because you're afraid of trolls? Newsflash, trolls will always exist. Unquote.
Okay, yeah.
On that same note, the following month, Rich released a similar video, a parody titled, A ReviewTechUSA Hater Tries to Do Gaming News.
Yo, what's going on, man? My name is Steve, and I'm here to expose that fat fuck, that piece of shit, e-begging piece of shit, ReviewTechUSA.
Okay, this is pretty funny, though.
And expose him for the fucking bitch that he is. Alright, so watch how easy it is to do news stories like that fat white Uncle Phil looking motherfucker does. Watch how easy it is. So I have an article right in front of me, okay? This Blizzard donates World of Warcraft pet sales to Ubulu.
In the comments, Rich claims this was a parody for a different YouTuber. Being that Rich has shown himself to react poorly to his own trolls made this video seem in poor taste. The comments are either remarking Rich as brilliant or just childish for releasing this video.
It's not
Quote,
childish, it's
you say that
funny.
Don't give trolls what they want or just ignore the haters.
Exactly what they
and then you make this. I like your videos, but this was just pathetic.
It was not.
Unquote.
It was hysterical.
This was on top of exposing the ease of reading articles as the center of his job.
Thought it was
but
funny.
in the parody, he was framing it as difficult. This was not a good look. It was only a few days later that Rich received 2 troll copyright strikes claiming that they owned the explosion Rich used in his intro. It was clear it was a troll because the channel that had reported him had clips of the BBC debating Rich.
The video is now gone because they got caught with their pants down. They probably deleted it right away, which, sad day for you, is that even when you delete a video, YouTube still has it in their database. So when this claim goes through, and this counterclaim goes through, they're going to look into that. They deleted the video though, so no one could see.
Of course they did.
As an additional response, Rich directs his viewers to his second channel, seen in the description. As Rich periodically addressed his trolls and gave them more power, they continued to grow and expand their list of tactics. In around 2015, they clung on to possibly the strangest campaign of trolling they'd ever use. One that's absurdness attracted those joining for the humor and the absurdity, and others that saw it as a true calling.
Hello, comrades. I would like to present the Big Cheese Anthem. I encourage you to keep hitting the channel and fighting for Big Cheese.
He thought that he could get away with taking $200 from...
Dude, look at this. Look. He got the trolls. He did it. He got them. He got them to do it. This is what the internet does. This is exactly what he deserves. 4chan. 4chan, call him out. Meme him. Meme him to death. Oh, it's so funny.
Big Cheese.
This is Big Cheese reporting in. I want you guys to stop trolling, the guy that did me wrong.
I decided to do the decent thing. I made a change.org petition to have ReviewTechUSA's sponsor Hawk.
Stop messaging me saying to stop something that I had nothing to do with at all. I had nothing to do with it.
Come at me, because what I'm doing is 100% legal.
This outcry against Rich, circa 2015, was because of a deal that went wrong between content creator Big Cheese and Rich. As Rich had begun taking sponsors for his videos, Big Cheese inquired about a spot for his channel. Their prior deal involved a laptop and things went smoothly. Continuing their dealings, Big Cheese then sent Rich a desktop. The deal was for 3 sponsor spots a week for what was assumed to be 6 months and an additional $200 payment made to Big Cheese in December 2014. There were issues with the computer's CD drive, but both parties were happy to continue the deal.
Today's video was brought to you by Big Cheese's YouTube channel. For gameplay reviews, gaming music, and vlogs, subscribe to Big Cheese VG. Link below in the description.
This was the only placement for Thanksgiving week. Already, Rich had failed the promise of 3 sponsors a week. But that's when Big Cheese reached out, inquiring what happened. Rich states that the holiday has somehow affected his ability to add placements. Big Cheese shook it off, and was pleased to find that Rich was adhering to their deal to 3 sponsors the following week. But that was it. Even though the 10th of December had come, Rich was reluctant to deliver those $200, instead offering Big Cheese an additional 6 months of promotion. That, or he sends the PC back, which Big Cheese would have to pay the shipping for. Either way, Rich made it clear he was not getting the agreed upon $200. Emphasizing that other companies would pay him thousands for the sponsorship spots and that it was not worth his time. The conversation then devolved alongside the deal. Big Cheese made the statement that Rich was going back on his word, which Rich refuted. As Big Cheese would find, attacks on Rich's character was a sore spot.
But when I said something about that financial crisis, when I tell you he flipped on me, he went ham. Cue it. First off, no financial crisis. Secondly, I don't give a shit to keep the machine and pay out money I don't need to. That's called being smart. You get back your product and there's no contract. You seem like a man who was broke and desperate since we are calling out people's financials, but sadly that's not my problem. So before I say something really nasty, bite your tongue. You get your computer and take virtually no financial loss except shipping. The half-working computer you sent me. Don't get smart with me, boss, because I'm not in the mood. Let me know what you want to do.
After a lengthy back and forth with threats of litigation in the conversation, Rich posted this on his public Facebook. But only Big Cheese at the time knew who it was directed at.
I'm a nice guy, but I'm not a pushover, and if you try to screw me over business-wise, I will legally stomp you and smile while doing it. Just a word of advice. Rich, bruh, You're playing the victim once again. You are a victim, an emotional victim.
This was all compiled in Big Cheese's video calling Rich out for going back on his word. Rich, rather than pay those $200 and diffuse the building tension, uploads his own video to counter Big Cheese.
So you get back anything, you lose no money minus shipping, and you get months upon months of free advertising, and you're trying to turn this into me being like a scandalous thief? Go to hell, dude. This is the last video I'll make on it. I don't care who else makes responses. I know people. I was going to keep this private like it should have been, but since you wanted to make it into a shit show, so be it. I'm sure this is going to be an e-drama thing that everyone's going to jump on the bandwagon with, but this is the only video I will make about it.
Without any encouragement from Big Cheese himself, this disagreement alone birthed the Big Cheese Crusaders. Random users that formed under this drama in order to go after Rich in whatever ways they could. Rich saw only a glimpse of the chaos to come and buckled under the pressure.
I paid Big Cheese, and I guess I do owe him an apology. Even though I was willing to send back the product, I guess he was depending on the money that I was going to send him, and it kind of blindsided him.
Though the feud was ostensibly over, in reality it had shifted between fans and detractors of Rich, some still under the Big Cheese Crusaders. Whenever Rich would slip up in a video, they were certain to catalog it.
I actually truly feel that I owe Anita Sarkeesian an apology. Here's what I mean. Mr. Repzion, he's a pretty big channel on YouTube.
Videos like Rich's apology to the highly disliked Anita Sarkeesian over threats she was receiving, or just an ill-informed video about how DirectX 12 compatibility works. Comments disparaging Rich would soon become the least of his worries, as a new hell would overshadow them all. Around April of 2015, a channel going under ReviewTechUSA was persistent in the ruination of Rich, seeking to affect not only his reputation, but also cancel his convention showings and successfully scared away his sponsors. Though it looked like this person wasn't the only one interested in threatening Rich beyond what was typical.
This is when shit goes too far. I deal with trolling on a daily basis. I deal with nonsense on a daily basis. I've been DDoS attacked or denial of service attacked on Twitch, so on and so forth. But the message that you're seeing here, the still, is a message that I received on Facebook. When you threaten me is
Rich,
when
why
shit
do you
gets
use
real.
Facebook?
The purpose of this threat was to both scare Rich and cancel his convention showing.
You're
but
on
as Rich
Facebook.
draws on, a claim he makes about the advice given from law enforcement is not so believable.
So I actually asked the officer if I should make a video about what happened, and he said, yeah, it would be a good idea. It could give us more information. It could help us get a lead quicker. So I'm actually asking you guys for some help.
It was this line that had viewers questioning if Rich was lying. This sentiment was shared on Drama Alert that was reporting the story.
Now, TechUSA said that he went to the police and the police told him to make a video so people try to find this person. It seems like a little bit of a stretch. I'm not the only one that thinks it's a stretch. A lot of people have been uploading videos to YouTube claiming that this is just a hoax for exposure.
Whatever the case, Rich on his Facebook was firing back, claimed that the trolls that went after him will be made an example of. Quote, how this shit is handled on the internet has to be changed, and I'm gonna make that change happen. They know I have info and are scared, and they should be. The anonymity of the internet should not be a safe haven for harassment. Unquote. Those seeking Rich's demise were confident, enough so that they came forward claiming that they were the ones that sent the threat.
We have Lizard Squad here today, and we also have ReviewTechUSA. Why did you guys make the death threat? Why did you get him kicked from this event? Don't you think that's going too far?
No, it wasn't going too far. It was actually our associate Daryl Boot who called up too many games and told them basically what would happen if he attended the event.
Whether it was from the infamous hacking group, Lizard Squad, ReviewTechUSA, or any other of Rich's trolls, his harassment only escalated as more users were coming out to attack him, which Rich continued to address. Little did they know, Rich was more than willing to sink to their level.
Okay, so the sponsor that came up to me fairly recently, and I'm excited as hell.
Everyone knows what the answer to bullies are, right? It's to ignore them and to make them feel like it doesn't bother you. and then they won't have fun, and then they won't do it. So it's the same premise with a troll. You ignore them, you don't think it's funny, they don't do it. Rich, what are you doing? Why were you being moron here?
That we're working together is called shadowsgovernment.com. These guys work with digital forensics, online psychological criminal profiling, and the one I'm going to be talking about the most, okay, is cyber criminal investigation.
Shadow's Government was a self-proclaimed white hat hacker. These are deemed ethical hackers who try to expose security vulnerabilities for the companies or individuals they serve or take contracts with. As much as anonymity is valued in this space, Todd Nicely, the person behind Shadow's Government, wasn't so anonymous.
Todd Nicely was arrested after impersonating a doctor at Somerset Community Hospital. But he says there's more to the story. Todd was a patient when he wondered just how secure the hospital is, both physically and technically. He runs an online conglomerate of computer hackers from all over the world called Shadows.
As it was quickly found out, Nicely also had several criminal convictions, mostly related to drug possession and driving, whether it be under the influence or with a revoked license.
Okay.
Rich had promoted a convicted criminal for reasons that soon became apparent when Shadows sent out a bounty. Quote, Shadows putting out a bounty on their heads, easy money. Announcement, $200 for docs on the following. Big Cheese Crusaders bullshit group. They usually go by Review Hell USA, Review Mussolini, or Review something or other, unquote. While this is hard to verify with complete certainty as it only exists through screenshots and videos, there is other information that has yet to be wiped, like this Facebook post that can still be found on Rich's Facebook. Quote, I would like to thank Anonymous, our Predator, and Shadow's Government for helping me proactively identify and locate Redacted, aka Review Hell USA. Excellent work, and I can't express my gratitude enough. Unquote.
Here is what happened with that. I forgot about it. I swear on my son, I forgot about it. I wouldn't even mention that in that
I would do that
Twitch
for sure.
video. There was a guy
I would get an anonymous hacking group to find a troll. If it's a threatening troll or it's ruining my career,
to the point
absolutely.
That I had to...
Yeah, for sure.
Complete your hybrid cloud with HPE GreenLake.
Get authorities involved. I'm not going to go into details. Basically, they threw their hands up and there was nothing they could really do. Someone said, which ended up being him, that I have that guy's information. Maybe this will put a stop to him. So I was like, okay. I mean, I kind of thought it was bullshit, but I'm like, all right, I'll put it out there.
Archived is Rich posting the pastebin of Review Hell USA. Quote, someone sent me a possible dox of the psycho that has been relentless on me. I didn't ask for it, and I strongly question its legitimacy. But what the hell? I'm tired of this prick. Unquote.
I never doxed anybody. That was the funny thing. I never looked up anyone's information or did anything to get anybody's information. That was just handed. That is all it was. I personally did not get anyone's information.
How do you know that?
So, it is what it is.
Rich seems confused on what doxing is. Obtaining information is not doxing. Releasing it is doxing. The severity varies on the intent and widespread of the information. Contrary to popular belief, doxing can be a crime. In the US, it is classified as cyberstalking and is exactly what Rich was doing. Specifically, posting information or spreading rumors about the victim on the internet or hiring private investigators.
No, it's not.
After Rich committed this crime, due to the reaction, he took it down as explained in this Facebook comment. Quote, don't get it, people were freaking out. I wasn't threatening the person in the docs, and I wasn't the one who compiled it, but due to the reaction I took it down. I really just wanted to see if anyone knew anything. Unquote. Now late 2015, it turned out that the Big Cheese Crusaders were not only targeting Rich, but also Big Cheese himself. For that reason, Rich uploaded a video with Big Cheese in an attempt to quell the unrest.
And while I was streaming, you know, the BC Crusaders, that's what they call themselves. How the hell you crusading me? But they call themselves the BC Crusaders. They spammed DDoS my Twitch page, a bunch of followers with my home phone number saying that my wife's a whore and then my mom has cancer and then says I have your mailing address and stuff like that. So it's been pretty much the cyber harassment, cyber attacking towards me.
What happened with Big Cheese and me, there was a business deal we had. It went sour, but we squashed it within, what would you say, 24 hours of it happening?
Pretty much.
And if we can move on from it,
So can a lot of other people.
There's no reason for it to keep continuing, and I hope maybe if people realize, oh wow, Rich and Big Cheese have moved on from this, maybe it isn't as big of a deal as people are trying to make it out to be.
The top comments were criticizing Rich for bringing up the trolls once more. Quote, "No, why did you bring it up? The trolls were a turn. And you just restarted the cycle, Rich. Rich, this was a bad idea." Unquote. It's difficult to state what effect this video had on the Big Cheese Crusaders. What is known is that at this point, those that were left in the movement were members that truly despised Rich, and as such, they continued to document Rich under a critical lens, seeking to spread word of his transgressions. The newest of which came from a Final Fantasy XIV review.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Rich of ReviewTechUSA, and this is going to be a very interesting video. Square Enix came up to me and asked me to play Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn. I suggest you give this game a chance. I think you'll really enjoy it. So huge shout out to Square Enix for giving me an opportunity to play this game. And I think they have something awesome on their hands, and now I could see why this game has been praised by so many people.
Rich in the video praised the game, but it was only in the description and the comments that he stated he was sponsored by Square Enix to make this video. That in itself wasn't the entire reason this review was somewhat controversial. It was Rich's prior, unpaid statements about the game.
And they try too hard to be different, and the outcome is games like Final Fantasy XIII, Final Fantasy XIV, and the other garbage they come out with. They're trying to figure out what it is. Maybe because they've made a bunch of crappy Final Fantasy games that no one cares about. But beyond the screw-ups they're making, let's talk about all these companies, because they're losing money making AAA games because they either try to rehash the same IP over and over again, or they try to make a half-assed game with multiplayer and hope it sells 10 million units and it doesn't.
These were likely throwaway lines to emphasize the dislike of Square Enix and the years the videos were created. And being that Final Fantasy XIV is an MMO and changes year per year, Rich could have naturally changed his opinion as the game improved. Though the clips next to each other and the lack of disclosure inside the actual video made for more reason for trolls to dislike Rich, and closed out 2015. 2016 started off just as poorly for Rich.
Dude, this guy's going through
As a
every
university
single
student who does a lot of writing
Asian
for her assignments,
woman,
upgrading to Grammarly Premium has
Get
saved
outta
me
here.
countless.
In January, he polled his Twitter audience asking them if he should make a Patreon. No won by a decent margin. Coincidentally, Keemstar posted this video about creators being greedy with their Patreons.
Like, why would you ask your fans for money when you could give money back to your fans? I mean, you're the one that's blessed.
This was a repeat of the situation with the BBC. Though Keemstar did not mention Rich by name, Rich immediately responded and assumed it was him that Keemstar was talking about. The two then argued about the ethics of donations before the conversation died down. That's when Keemstar told Rich he was making a general statement that was not specifically targeting him. From here, Rich apologized 1, 2, 3, 4 times. This apology lasted about an hour.
Okay.
Quote, LMAO. Okay, apology taken back. At Keemstar, really, dude? I'm done after this, but wow. Unquote. Rich was not done after this, as below was a video calling Keemstar out for having a donate button on his stream page, as Rich was equating that to having a Patreon. The only person that could benefit from this nebulous argument was...
Every single streamer has a donate button on their page. All of them. That's kind of what it's for, what they do. Even I have one. I never check it, but I have one. That's, like, extremely common.
Keemstar, but Rich was too arrogant to see how this back and forth, his flip-flopping from apologizing to then taking the apology back, could hurt him.
Before everyone freaks out, I have no ill will against Keemstar. This isn't going to turn into some stupid thing.
This turned into a massive back and forth between Rich and Keemstar and eventually escalated into a debate.
Keemstar literally...
Like, look at Keemstar, I take my...
How the frick has Keemstar been in 3 videos so far? Keemstar has weaseled his way into every YouTuber's life. Some way, somehow.
Apology back. Well, first of all, you apologized because you thought I was talking about you, okay? That's why you apologized, all right? But then you took my apology back because you found that I have a donate button on my stream. Rich, look at you said just a little while ago that you're not going to be making a Patreon.
Yeah.
Are you 100% you're not going to be making a Patreon?
Pretty much, yes.
All right. Well, there it is. He's not making a Patreon. So look, you manipulated the situation. You lied 3 times. We've already went over this 100 times. And you know what? Now I've backed you in a corner, and you're not making a Patreon. So I'll take it as a win.
Dude, don't
Anyone
even try.
else can say whatever the fuck they want. I'll take it as a win.
You can't take it as a win.
You're like making these things and putting them in there to make it as a win. The bottom line is
this. You're not making a Patreon. Hold on.
Semantics aside, throughout the debate, it was Keemstar's goal to bar Rich from making a Patreon, in which he succeeded, lest he go back on his word. And if this happened in February instead of January 2016, Keemstar would have had more ammunition to use. Not because of the Patreon, but because of these 2 tweets. Quote, "I think it's time I released at the RTU Critic's personal info. What do you guys think? Let's have some fun. At the RTU Critic, I'll make sure to add that pic of your kid to the docs too. Let's make this a good one." Unquote. Rich claims this was in retaliation
Why would you do that?
to the RTU Critic's doxing and harassing of his family, which included his children.
Okay,
even
never
calling
mind, that makes
Rich
sense.
when he was
Sure.
at the gym.
Then that's a good idea,
Though after
yeah.
it came out that
Revenge.
Shadow's government had a criminal history, Rich cut ties with Shadow and tried to delete as much as he could of what happened. These tweets were soon deleted, though they are still visible through the Wayback Machine alongside the remnants of the RTU
Wayback
Critics
Machine
campaign
is
against
awesome.
Rich.
Anyone-
there were also
anyone
videos
who
that
does
fans of
anything
Rich
knows
made combating the RTU Critic. This fan made a rap song celebrating the dogs of the RTU Critic.
You can't run, you can't hide, you're not going to stop my review tech pride. You could have got boxed, but instead you got doxed.
A is a mobile game of some kind. What's going on?
The RTU Critic and ReviewTechUSA are the same person, alongside a different creator known as Sierra Air.
Hey guys, in this video I'm going to expose a traitor to the Big Cheese Crusaders.
Sierra was not nearly as successful in getting reactions from Rich, but they were successful in keeping whatever was left of the Big Cheese Crusaders together. Clear by the catalog of videos, Sierra was not a very sane person, as it is not typical for someone to upload this many videos about the police or just McDonald's employees harassing them. Regardless, Sierra did get some notoriety from those looking into Rich's most dedicated opposition.
Now, this person that he's adding in this tweet is not exactly as subtle about the threats he makes. I'm in Ireland. You can't catch me. Rich's personal life will be targeted until he quits. I don't care what the fuck you think about me. I want that man dead in a bog.
Rich's outbursts continue to encourage his trolls. In this livestream, he called one the F word.
Dude, I really, I don't care, man. And the thing is if I block you, then you say I'm a pussy. If you stay here, you annoy the shit out of me. Why don't we just meet somewhere? If you have that much of a problem with me, let's meet somewhere and we could, quote-unquote, discuss it. If you got that much of a problem, dude, I'm more than willing to meet. You name a place, I'll meet you there.
Rich, what are you doing? Why would you do that?
And we could have a discussion. We could discuss anything you want. I will meet you. I will put a fucking flag on my car saying I'm Rich and we can meet there. I don't know, man, but you seem that you are such a fucking loser that you come on here all the fucking time. And it's annoying. And if I block you, you get pissed. If I unblock you, you annoy the shit out of me.
This was the pinnacle of controversy for Rich at the time. His strategy of doxing his worst trolls and publicly making amends with Big Cheese seemingly worked in his favor. The worst that was happening to him was when he ate all that a Wall Street Journal article fed him about PewDiePie. An article that was filled with false information decrying PewDiePie as anti-Semitic. Rich quickly took this video down and issued an apology.
Good. It's time for me to eat a whole bunch of fucking crow right now.
In Rich's apology, he still got important information about PewDiePie incorrect, like stating that PewDiePie wore an SS officer's uniform when the costume he wore was clearly not of German origin. But for this to be Rich's most controversial video for at least a year was an improvement. Though all good things must come to an end, and Rich would find himself with more problems, some of his own creation, others falsified to destroy his character.
So let me get this straight. Rich cries when he gets doxxed, but likes it when it happens to other people.
Gee, I wonder why I flagged that down. I don't know.
And he's given out, the state that I live in.
At least try to come after me for something I can't instantly debunk.
He also gives out my last name.
ReviewTech, who is Anna Doyle? I see people mentioning her in the chat.
On November 1st, 2017, Rich finally committed and announced he was making a Patreon. With the adpocalypse cutting into his revenue, and with his videos full of colorful language and unsavory subject matter, this is what he offered to remain uncensored. While there could have been issues with trolls pointing out him going back on his word and creating Patreon, as long as Rich did not address it, no one would care. For the next couple of months, hundreds would subscribe to Rich's Patreon as he would thank them for its success. Once it passed over $1,000 a month and remained there for a period, Rich made a promise for patron-only streams, but failed to give any details within a timely manner. Then Rich on a live stream stated this.
With the stream, guys, in terms of doing like an exclusive stream for patrons, I don't know if, I know I put that on there. I don't know if I want to do that because I feel like I just feel like I'm being unfair to the rest of my subscribers.
This video was archived and uploaded on a channel that went by Anna Doyle. This is believed to be a sock account of ReviewTechUSA. The video showing the unfulfilled Patreon reward was titled ReviewTechUSA Undelivered Patreon Reward Promises. The only reason it is prominent now is because Rich addressed it.
Now the video is called ReviewTechUSA Undelivered Patreon Reward Promises, and generally when this jackass makes videos, I ignore them. I have better things to do, let them say whatever the hell they want to say. But when you try to make me seem like I'm being a thief, I gotta step in and say something, especially when I have documented evidence proving that I'm not.
Rich's evidence, used to debunk Anna Doyle, was in the form of posts that stated he was committing to Patreon-only streams. But this was in March. ReviewTech introduced the idea in January and failed to deliver any streams for those 2 months. This issue is so small that it is difficult to believe many, if any at all, of Rich's supporters will care about the minutiae of this. Anna Doyle's true goal, as it has always been, was to troll Rich, to get a response. And once again, they got what they wanted.
But to everyone out there who's saying that I'm being Panhandler Tech USA and making 8 billion videos about me, I got something for you too. Panhandle this.
This was just the beginning. In April, the 1316 Killer, a creator that had long criticized Rich, received this screenshot which prompted him to make this video.
So just to let everybody know, I do not have Twitter and I do not have Facebook. I actually put that in a skit that I made today, which will be going up. I don't know if I'll post this today or tomorrow, but take a good look at that.
On screen was allegedly the 1316 Killer's docs. Rich responded by denying that he doxed him. Further tweets demonstrate how the screenshot could have been faked by editing the web page's source code. And as dedicated as his trolls are in archiving every misstep, none of them provided an archive link to the tweet of Rich doxing the 1316 Killer. There is no evidence behind this happening, and being that the 1316 Killer was sent this screenshot means that there is no proof that the text was unaltered. This is not to say that Rich was completely uninvolved in drama. As tensions were rising between Rich and his most dedicated trolls, mysteriously their videos were disappearing, like Anna Doyle's, which is when Rich was asked to show his flagging history.
Will you show your YouTube history report like Monday Matt did, because there's rumors you reported Anna Doyle? I'm not showing any reports. I didn't report him, but I'm not showing any reports.
With Rich's associate being exposed for flagging videos critical of them, this became the new spearhead against Rich and was utilized by Keemstar in 2018. In an unrelated drama, Keemstar was on creator Andy Worski's stream lambasting Rich for his transgressions.
And every time I see a video from you, it's just stupid fucking opinions. I don't know why you're on the fucking internet anymore. You're dumb, you get everything wrong, you say dumb shit over and over again. I'm so sick of hearing your dumb fucking opinions. You need to get smarter before you come on my fucking platform on YouTube and spread your bullshit. Because I'm sick of it. You're dumb. Get smarter.
Thank you.
In this conversation, Rich was on the back foot, and so he wanted to make peace with Keemstar. Keemstar was willing under one condition.
Okay, I've calmed down. I understand that you want to make peace and that you're sorry. Olive branch out there if you show your flag history.
Rich, now willing to show his flagging history, pulled it up for all to see.
There you go.
There is
information about this vehicle. Video not available.
So yeah, some were deleted. See when they're deleted?
Some were deleted.
Right, so
those were probably from like 5 fucking years ago.
All right, so ReviewTech sexually assaulted someone, DSP Gaming.
Gee, I wonder why I flagged that down. I don't know.
Review Tech, who is Anna Doyle? I see people mentioning her in the chat.
That is a dude who has put out my personal information.
Whose name
put
is
out,
Anna?
and he.
Terrible. Man.
And honestly, I wasn't even though I did flag him once, I wasn't even the one who got his channel taken down.
Rich had lied. He did in fact flag Anna Doyle, aka ReviewHellUSA. What's more, with Rich exposed, Keemstar saw the opportunity to dig the knife in further, insinuating that he only goes after people when they are weak.
Most of the shit that I got from you came under, like, in the year 2016, when the whole internet hated me and everybody thought my career was over.
No,
and as soon as I regained, my channel, and now you want to be sorry.
No, I'm not like that.
Though this did provide yet another reason for trolls to continue their campaign against Rich, the internet at large did not care. What helped Rich avoid any of this backlash was his massive success. Shortly after this conversation, Rich had his best month on YouTube ever due to some extremely successful videos. This was Rich's shield. Over the next couple of years, his videos would easily dominate anyone coming out against him despite his continued missteps. From a livestream covering January 6 to his dating profile being leaked. There was even a video theorizing he had gastric bypass surgery due to his massive weight loss. All of it forgotten because his own videos continue to dominate the search results. In 2022, he even hit 1 million subscribers. It was around this time that he had been using marijuana and had been wanting to significantly lessen his usage.
Like, there's a lot of times like, oh shit, I gotta stream soon, time to get stoned, and I'm like, oh no, that's not how I want to be. You know what I mean? Two things, like I said, I'll have it a few times a year like I do drinks. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like I'm anti-weed now. Like, dude, I think they should make it legalized federally. I'll have it a few times a year, and it did a lot for me.
While Rich had these desires and sought the benefits, like possibly increasing motivation, tragedy struck Rich's life, making it more difficult to quit or do anything else for that matter, as this happening required his entire attention.
Unfortunately, I have some bad news. His daughter is in the ICU at the moment, and he is unable to make videos on the channel, and he's unable to live stream. He's going through a lot, emotionally, of course.
That was Rich's dedicated editor, Jay, host of the channel JKB that was formerly 3KB or 3 kilobytes. In Rich's absence, Jay would take up the majority of responsibilities of the channel, but this went on longer than initially expected. Rich's daughter was thought to only need about 1 month of hospital stay, though that was less and less becoming the case.
My daughter, my youngest daughter, Mackenzie, is in the hospital right now with Steven Johnson syndrome, which is rare within itself. There's like 20,000 cases or less each year. The main reason why I'm making this video is that things are going to be different on this channel, probably until I'm saying realistically she's going to be 2 months. I don't wish this on my worst enemy. This is the worst thing I've ever been through.
After several months of turmoil, now in July, the worst of it seemed to be over. But Rich, now being a bit more active on his channel, reflected on his content.
Unfortunately, to put it lightly, and that's an understatement, life had different plans for me. So why things got inconsistent, because my time was at a premium. I had my 2 sons here full-time for a very long time, and mostly what I stuck to was live streaming. And recently, this is what I'm leading up to, because my time is still somewhat at a premium because things aren't fully settled yet, I've brought back news, kind of.
What Rich goes into is his exhaustion of covering surface-level news. He has grown tired of reading articles or glancing at similar media and filming an equally introspective piece, hardly expanding on the original flimsy work. Typically, a creator may make these changes because their views are suffering from lack of experimentation.
Well, his views weren't
the
suffering.
content has grown stale, and in order to survive on the platform, something else must be created.
Right.
This was not Rich's case. Even though he was uploading at a much slower rate than he had in the past couple of years, his views hardly suffered from his departure. This format is successful and easy to produce. But after over a decade of doing this, Rich has had enough and seeks to produce higher quality content.
I want to do more high production value stuff. I actually have stuff in the pike behind the scenes. I talk about it somewhat in live streams, but I don't want to bring it up here because when it's ready, it's ready. I've learned to not overpromise and underdeliver.
Rich is rather unspecific about his projects, but he does say he wants to create evergreen content, or videos that windows of interest are not dated. The fatal mistake was that he was killing his main channel by slowing down the legacy news content without testing any of this evergreen content to know if his format would even succeed. And then months went by. There was nothing but his typical uploads at a slower rate. But he did have another announcement, a shout out to a different project.
Upload to shout out my other music channel where I upload hip-hop records that I produce. God, I couldn't sound any more corny saying that, but no, I'm not kidding.
Rich's music channel, El Capo, is not popular. The rudimentary AI art would be off-putting to a typical user. Rich is spreading himself thin and is aimless. If he wanted to succeed and remain on the platform, he would not be doing this. At the very least, he will be creating the high production content he speaks so much of. The fact of the matter is, channels on YouTube can die as fast as they rise. And for Rich to throw away a surefire way to remain relevant or entertaining on the platform is dangerous. Not just for the money, but because, for the most part, he was in control. There is a space for Rich to continue to exist online without the need to create new videos. And that would be in the same vein as creators like Boogie2988 or Wings of Redemption. These are creators that have long lost their original supportive audiences and have them replaced with viewers who mock and troll them without end. These are known as lolcows, and Rich was quickly on the path to exist only as one, especially when entering needless feuds like he did with Does It Play at the end of 2023. This all started from this video.
At least, if you're lucky, you may just get an unfinished version of the game that might be playable but broken. A lot of times you get these games home.
Rich was making the argument that current day games are all released as a broken mess that require immediate patches in order to exist in a playable state. The same day of this video's release, Rich streamed and was challenged on this premise.
Does it play? Right here, they're real. And let me show you one else.
Does It Play is a website that tests whether games play in their unaltered state, meaning offline playability. Rich was now displeased with them because someone with 2 likes on Twitter challenged Rich on a statement about games being unplayable without patches. His major grievance was that Does It Play was one of those 2 likes.
Name a game, Does It Play, that you get from the store that there is not a multi-gigabyte update for. Go right now and get me one. That's from this current generation.
Okay, wait, that's a little bit
Rich,
harder.
in his confidence, bet money that he was correct.
I'll pay them $2,000.
Definitely found one.
$2,000. Get a game from the store, Does It Play, that doesn't require an update.
Rich added the circumstance that it had to be a AAA game. But even so, his loss was set. Just a day later, Does It Play responded with Super Mario RPG. Rich was prompted to retort, now arguing that the game industry is full of important Day 1 patches. But that was not the argument. Quickly, other creators jumped in, correcting Rich. The responses were getting far more likes than Rich's own posts. As Rich kept tweeting, the responses were growing in numbers and virtually only against him. It was only on his stream later that night, after an hour debate from a guest arguing on behalf of Does It Play, Rich admits defeat.
So,
I wouldn't count
here.
Mario RPG.
On the 4th of each month, today's the 3rd, you'll pay $2,000. There you go.
This is where it should have ended, but already Rich was tweeting about a big surprise video, ruining the surprise with another tweet stating, quote, "Meh, at Does It Play 1 was wrong about this. It's all good, the money went to a good cause," unquote. This was in response to Jay's tweet, claiming that Super Mario RPG does have a game-breaking bug. Seeing Rich's discontent in what should have been an already settled situation, Does It Play tweeted at Rich additional examples that fit his criteria. Rich tweeting, quote, "Yeah, but you used the Mario RPG as an example to make me quote-unquote fork over the money. And it has a game-breaking bug that Nintendo is putting out an emergency patch for. Hopefully my funding can allow you to not make a crucial mistake like this again. Glad I got to support your cause," unquote. Tweet after tweet, response after response, Rich only dug himself in deeper. What goodwill he regained by donating the promised money was quickly being lost, and then he posted the video addressing it.
Hello everybody, I'm a proud Does It Play $2,000 financial supporter, and there are games that don't need updates, but the one they showed, they were wrong about, and that was Super Mario RPG. They said that, look, here's a AAA game that doesn't need an update day 1, it works right out of the box. Except
for the fact that it has a game-breaking bug Super Mario RPG.
The top comment of this video disputes Rich's statement about it being a game-breaking bug, as it is still very much completable without an update. Even so, Does It Play provided other examples that went unchallenged. For these reasons, all the top comments were against Rich. Quote, Rich is way too into internet drama for a man his age. As a longtime fan of your content, Rich, this video could have honestly stayed in the drafts. Been watching your videos for years.
I don't think it's that
This
big
is
of a
easily the
problem.
most embarrassing thing you put out, and I'm saying that to a guy who gets high and takes his shirt off on stream. Unquote. The last comment was not even commentary on only this situation, it was on Rich as a whole. Rich's streams only seem to be poisoned by his gimmicks, like the frequent use of a soundboard that's mainly used for this applause sound.
So anyway, there's a new LolCow podcast. Starring me. Let me go piss real quick. I promise I won't spam the applause. I know I'm overdoing it.
Does It Play ended up refunding Rich's money without his consent announced by this tweet. Quote, unfortunately, due to reasons unknown to us, we have found ourselves in the middle of a bit of a social media drama we clearly shouldn't have engaged with. Unquote. This is how Rich's 2023 was ended. Even so, 2024 was off to a much worse start. Rich's channel wasn't just dying, it was also being prepared for a feast, with the predators he thought he was toying with lying in wait.
And if anyone is responsible for Phil pressing the eject button, it's you fucking weirdos. And it's not the whole detractor community. A lot of them like me. But there is a portion that despise me. Because you know what it is, Jay. Jay's watching, my editor. They have channels that are dedicated to Phil. What's going to be the topic now?
Rich has a history of talking about lolcows.
Like, yes, I talk about Phil in 90% of my streams.
In this situation, Rich is proposing that a consequence of an upcoming documentary on the infamous creator Darkside Phil by documentarian Mike Klum would be that the detractors of Phil will need to slow their production of content down or they discourage Phil from dropping the project. Engaging in this conversation with detractors of Phil is a terrible idea for a multitude of reasons. First is that as Rich criticizes Phil, it becomes apparent that many of his criticisms are also applicable to himself. Second, he is engaging and antagonizing trolls. Third, his channel is on a steep decline. With his typical viewers appearing less and less, and more trolls gaining interest in Rich, their voices grow louder, and so does their control of him.
I know there's some people who exist, they hate Phil to an unhealthy degree. They're just as bad, if not worse, than Phil's dents. And they're like so caught up in their hatred of him, they don't even fucking realize it.
That watermark, Snortmania, is from a troll channel that is known as Snort Hogan that mainly covers Darkside Phil. Now Snort Hogan has his talons sunk in on Rich, re-uploading Rich's stream segments that have him speaking on trolls. And though some of Rich's words ring true, they are being twisted intentionally by the inflammatory title of the video to both garner the attention of Rich and drive opposition towards him. And it worked.
I told you. I goddamn told you. And all of you cried like bitches.
Dude,
You're
how
more
many
of
trolls
dents
does
than
ReviewTech
Phil's
USA
dents.
get in 'em?
Cry. Cry hard, Snort Hogan. Cry hard, Cult of Hate. Keep crying because I was right and you were wrong. Kiss my fucking ring and bow before me, you motherfuckers.
Rich in this video was celebrating that he was correct that Phil did indeed cancel the Mike Klum documentary. But that wasn't particularly insightful, being that most saw this as the likely case anyways. What matters is that Rich was growing ever more restless and combative with the trolls. This clip alone would appear in every one of Snort Hogan's videos from now on, but this was only the start.
You lost how many subs?
I lost about
100?
200 people.
From what? And
Twitter.
Also
The loss of his followers was likely from this Twitter space that he hosted.
The only thing I will admit, because I have to admit when I'm wrong, is I overestimated that there was going to be a troll war. Okay, I'll take that L. But even down to the fact that the trolls blamed
How many
me,
trolls do you
which
have?
I screen
You don't
capped
have that many trolls.
for
Not everyone cares
him
about this guy.
canceling the Mike Klum documentary.
Rich was
We need a
on
Mike
warpath.
Klum documentary
So
on this guy.
some of Phil's dented detractors have said to me, today is the day of God.
Peach.
How could you be so mean
Hi,
on the
Peach.
day of God? So I said to myself, you know what? I will say a prayer.
How you doing?
Lord Jesus, Please pray for these lost souls and tell them to come suck my dick.
Detractor Dents. They're different than detractors for giving.
Peach, what are you up to? Thanks for joining the Discord, Peach. Get Ricky to join the Discord, Peach. I sent him a link. I don't know if it's still active. I sent him a link. He didn't join, but I don't think he saw it. I don't think he saw it yet. I haven't talked to him in a little while.
Me a healthy amount of good, solid content.
But yeah,
for
what have you been up
Jay
to?
and I this evening.
So first off, I'm going to start off with an apology if you follow me on Twitter. You probably thought that I have lost my mind over the past 24 hours.
Send him the invite.
It was by design.
So he
it
knows.
was done to farm dumbass pieces of shit for content.
Did you?
And
we're gonna go on a little bit of a tie tangent here in the middle of this thing. Did you ever find out? Do you know why I started this channel and everything, the server, and what all happened? Because I would love to explain it to you. Because I was never planning to start a Discord, because as I said, I usually sit on other people's Discords. Oh, you didn't know? So Bob started a new Discord because he used his friend's Discord, and I was invited to his Discord, and he said I had 3 strikes, and if I had all 3 strikes, I would be kicked out specifically. So I joined his Discord, and we're going to start at the beginning. There was he said not to friend anyone. Okay. Well, I friended his admins, who ended up accepting his friends, and I got pretty close to, except for Jesus. So that's strike 1. Was I friended people. Strike 2 is apparently he has a feet channel, because Bob is attracted to feet, like sexually, like he's attracted to feet. So to mess with him, I put a picture of me sucking my toes. That was strike 2, but I thought it was funny. It was freaking funny, right? And then, I got along with everyone. Supposedly, he said people messaged him about me being in the channel all the time, talking, sending selfies, getting an act. People found it uncomfortable. I said, well, that's not really our problem, right? That's not my problem. People don't, I never said anything bad about anybody. And he didn't want to deal with this, but he didn't kick me out yet, okay? And then there was an event with 3 girls, I think it was 3 girls, going through really bad traumas. In fact, one of them is actually in our Discord, and that would be Miss Abby, who went in Discord, Bob's Discord, and I talked with her through trauma. I talked through a lot of people through their trauma that, when they won, and I said if she ever needs to talk or anything, I would be A-okay with that. And there was another girl named Maze, same thing. And Bob didn't know how to deal with it, so I dealt with it, talking about and knowing what to say. But then, I was playing Minecraft with his mods and stuff, trying to, be active. There was a girl named Satan who joined our call, and, I said she has a boyfriend, but she is, like, I don't know, whorish, slutty, I don't know, over-sexualized. She's going around with people, and I said it was disgusting and repulsive. I also said that I respected her time with volunteering and kids that she did, and I said, I'm not, just because I find the one part of you gross doesn't mean I find everything. I would still be your friend and everything. I'm sorry. I just don't like the one part of your aspect of your life. I don't think that's very good, being so sexually involved with everybody. I think that's pretty bad. And apparently it made her cry, and Bob sided with her instead of me. Now, me and Bob are still close friends, but we made an agreement that I wouldn't be allowed in the Discord anymore over that. So it sucks, but that's what happened. That was 3. And that's why I started my own. Bob gives you creepy vibes, no offense. Well, Bob hates Seth. And I don't know how you hate Seth, because Seth is a super cool guy. Seth doesn't like Bob either, though. They hate each other. Because Bob said Seth's art looks like AI art, and Seth said Bob view bots and stuff, and I don't know. Bob has always been nice to me. Seth's always been nice to me. They're both of them. I don't hate anybody. And that's what really upset me about being kicked out of the Discord is I don't hate anyone. I genuinely like talking to everybody. So I was pretty sad about it that someone even thought I disliked them in a way. I don't know. I was pretty, I don't know how to say it. Bob can be a little creepy with his bipolar and his mood swings, but he's actually he's always been nice to me in a way. It might just be the one experience I had with Bob, but I haven't been back since he told me to get in his bed one night when he was drunk. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, no, he's definitely more of an estranged case. But I don't think he's a bad person. He's just, indifferent. But that's just me. I don't think anyone's a bad person. But this is what I do now on Twitch, Peach. I listen and watch videos and then talk about the videos.
Congratulations, they did it.
Congratulations. It cannot be overstated how bad antagonizing
and
fails
all
to
the videos I watch are from YouTube, and they're all given to me by either Twitch audience, YouTube audience, or Facebook, Twitter, or an email. Someone emailed me a video. Look, I'm not gonna make fun of that. I'm sure I just wasn't expecting an email with a video, so I don't, yeah, I try to be kinder. I don't hate anyone, but I like to I don't like pick me girls, but I've always been nice. Pick me. Most of the Peach, I didn't realize this. I recently came to termination here. Well, Toxie never joined my Discord for some reason. She just never did. I invited her, but I don't know what's up. Most of my friends are girls, Peach, and most of the, other than Prayson, who's a super great guy, Neo, who's from YouTube, awesome person. Most of these people are YouTube. Most of my friends are female. Me and Luna were talking about it. Luna, there's 2 Lunas in the Discord. Older Luna, the one that you probably know. Yeah, I don't know. I've always related more to girls. I guess I think it's because I'm a more emotional guy than not. I don't know. But yeah.
Actors was at this time when his views were still going severely downhill. And now Rich was set in abandoning his channel's mainstay content altogether.
it has to die, Jay. The news has to die.
Why does the news have to die?
It gotta go away. There's no one that could convince me out of it this time.
In February, he restated his commitment, stating that he wants to make video game retrospectives.
I'm actually joined today by Jay. He's my editor, and those will be projects from, not to sound corny, from the heart. I don't want to hire outside script writers. I want it to be from us.
At this point in time, Rich has made more videos brainstorming what he wants to make than the actual videos he wants to make. Okay. This is never a good sign.
But he never
and
made
Jay,
those videos.
Rich's editor, saw what others did. And so Jay continued to try to convince him to keep doing the news videos. But Rich did not relent, and things went from bad to catastrophic.
Listen, I'll end it with this.
Yeah, I feel that, Lowell. I actually like you. I just don't get in Discord because I know how you are about it, so I respect you. Know how you are about it, so I respect you. What do you mean? I just don't get in Discord because I cuss and I know how you are about it. Oh, I don't care about... Look, I don't really like it, but again, Peach, if you come in and you just want to talk to me while I'm streaming, like, you can come and talk to me anytime. I usually sit in the den. I'm not doing it while I'm doing these reactions at the moment. But seriously, I don't mind if you're cussing. It's like, it's really only two at this point, two that really bother me. That would be JC and GD, the two Christian ones, because I'm a very valued Christian. And they do actually bother me. As for all the other ones, like, if you do it on a stream and I'm recording it like I'm recording now, I just edit it out. Like, I'll just do bleeps. I tend to do that. I have been pretty good at doing it. Seth is super nice about it. He kind of catches himself, and it's been awesome, so I don't have to do as many edits. But, yeah, Seth, don't feel like you can't join the Discord and talk to me because you cuss, because, honestly, I'd rather talk to you and cuss than and just completely understand, because it's just really nice to talk, you know? So don't even worry about that. That's nothing. Don't worry about it.
My fat ass will go.
Oh, yeah, wait. Oh, yeah, I don't say those unless I'm very mad, but I even try not to say those because I'm Christian as well. Well, then, Peach, don't even worry about it. Don't even sweat it. I don't mind doing edits if you want to come talk. It's not even a big deal. And also, Peach, a lot of people that weren't in Bob's ended up joining. Like, Snake Queen ended up joining my Discord, and Puma, that Bob just kind of destroyed his friendship with because he doesn't know how to handle things very well. Like, at all. With that. Also, Snake apparently made an OnlyFans, and I told her I refused to buy it because I ain't buying her OnlyFans. I don't do that. I don't do that. But she is super cool about it. I gave her own little channel for OnlyFans too.
Oh, fucking bankrupt, getting the prettiest suit. I will go there with a smile on, because you know what?
There is an absolute shitstorm coming out right now.
I'll be more involved. I was never in Bob's, but I would probably have been... Wait, I probably would have been kicked out a lot sooner. Peach, Bob has two. Bob has the Keepa's Bowl
It'll
and
destroy
the new
your
server.
reputation,
Were you ever added to the
and
new
I'll get
server?
publicity out of it because a giant pussy from Canada wanted to sue me because his feelings were hurt. Like, you come here.
Wait, Rich is
As
crying.
it was coming out, late February, Jay was no longer working for Rich, and his firing was far from amicable. 8-Bit Eric, a relatively small channel, was covering the situation as it was evolving in Jay's Discord. And just as Rich had done to Big Cheese, he was making Facebook posts cryptically talking about the situation.
From Richard on his Facebook, it says, I need to be able to afford my rent. Proceeds to buy parts to upgrade the gaming PC I gave him, and dude got paid by me on top of that. I guess money magically floated out of thin air. Miracles do happen. Man, oh man, get fucked, my boy.
Rich deleted that post and apologized. Of course. But in that same apology, he still belittles Jay.
Richard comes out and says, you know what, I deleted the post. Instead of making a public shit show, may the best man win. And by best man, I mean I'll win. I do better without parasites attached to me anyway.
This was quickly gaining attention, and there are a lot of smaller supports that build up this falling out. Though it appeared sudden, there were a few reasons Rich was combative. On Rich's side, he was annoyed that Jay did not want to create shorts for Rich's streaming channel. The reason Jay refused was because of lack of direction in this.
This is true. Absolutely. Bob has a lot of girls. He developed like one thing I don't really want to discuss too much as for him, but when he joined the team, a couple of his teams, he joined a lot with OnlyFans, and there's different sections of OnlyFans. And this is what I have a problem with. Like, with Madam Queen here, or Snake Queen, I call her Madam because, to be polite. But her OnlyFans, it's entirely different. Her fans wanted it. Like, literally, she was getting paid. It's different. But he put his basically, he made bed. Bob made bed with these women that, like, I went to their, like, link tree and clicked on anything, and I literally saw, like, it was another streamer with a dildo on there, and these women that are way over sexualized, and they were, I have an NSW chat for Dev and little Darlin like to post stuff in there, and that's fine. We're having fun, but I mean, there was people in there that would actually like things that I wouldn't approve of. Just nasty things that just aren't necessary. Like there's parts when you take it too far. Even when I know you're selling your body, but like you gotta have a little bit of dignity from time to time. You can't do that. Also, Cookie never joined the Discord, which is very surprising. But yeah, she will probably. But I can't believe it. Honestly, I had a little bit of problems with that too.
Request. Rich's streams are full of dead air and generally lack substance. To ask Jay to scrub multi-hour long streams for usable clips, it did not win him over. But that was while Jay was still employed. There were also elements around the firing, like that the firing came from a text message, and that Jay was fired on his birthday. There was also the matter of the retainer. As Jay stated, they had a deal in the case that Jay was fired that he would be owed a full month's pay. Rich initially did not want to honor this.
I put this in place because he was a nightmare to work with and unreliable at times. When he was told that he would have to pay me this, he said I was extorting, and he paid me half, leaving me in shock. He then brought the PC, which wasn't a gift. It was meant for me to work on his show and bring in money for both of us.
Rich had very recently given Jay a PC, though it was clear that this was for work. Rich was using this as leverage to not commit to the payment he was promised. What's also interesting about this computer is that Rich cared so little about it initially that he was going to give it away to Darkside Phil.
So I'm literally still looking at the computer right now. Eventually, I have another friend up in Canada I'm going to give it to.
The reason Jay got the PC was because Darkside Phil refused it, possibly fearing that it may have spyware. This escalated well into March. On March 5th, Jay tweeted, quote, I want to say that yesterday Rich sent me a bunch of really terrible audio messages that made it clear how he feels. I am done. I can't deal with nonsense anymore. I've been worried how this will look for him. I didn't want to have to say anything again, but I am done trying to help him. Unquote. In a different tweet, Jay stated that he wasn't going to read them, but to ask Rich to play them on his show. Jay then tweets that he is done with the situation once more.
Since it's out there, you know what, Jay? I'll play the messages.
Do you realize how much damage you not getting a $500 when you've gotten so much extra from me throughout the years?
There's not much substance in these initially private voice messages. They recap the drama and include some belittlement of Jay. However, Rich was furious that Jay exposed their existence, And now, having paid Jay the money owed, he saw it fit to go after him rather than let things die down. Here, Rich provides reasons why Jay was not the best employee, including the times he refused to make clips and shorts for the channel.
You got paid to basically sit on your ass. Now, there are times I've made you wait with my terrible time management, and I will own that. But again, you stayed. How many times did I give you extra shit, extra money?
Rich played his hand. This is all he had against Jay.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to block him and move on.
This was a lie. Though Rich lacked ammunition, he sought to continue the feud.
You're the sidekick everywhere you go. That's not jealousy saying that. When you used to sit there and sound like your balls were getting grabbed. JKB back with another video. You couldn't cut it. That's why you became my editor. You got paid to basically sit on your ass. Now, there are times I've made you wait with my terrible time management. Now, dude, I admit all the fucking time when I'm in the wrong with stuff. All the time. I eat crow all the time when I fuck up. I'm not admitting it with this one.
We learned
the heights
that he
I'm
was
going to go to
and has admitted when he was wrong.
Put a fire under my ass like you wouldn't believe are going to be incredible.
This drama was coming out during Rich's worst performing month this year so far. But Jay also wasn't done because he did a podcast breaking down what happened.
Sell to your customers anywhere with Shopify, the commerce platform designed for entrepreneurs. Online, on social, in person, and on the go. Get the tools you need to sell the way you want. Powered by Shopify.
So let's get this straight. He said, I'm a parasite. Then he made a stream about it and said, I stand by what I said. And then days later, he apologized. He said, I shouldn't have done that. And now where are we at? I don't even know because it's like being on a roller coaster that spins. Yeah. I don't even know what direction we're in when it comes to what he's talking about.
As poorly as Rich continued to handle this, there were moments where Jay prodded Rich, excusing these prods as jokes. Like when he made a channel called ReviewTech Canada after being fired. This channel was removed after a day. Being that Rich has had various detractor channels that follow him intently that are spin-offs of his channel's name, this could be seen as a strike at Rich. There was also the firing on his birthday that, while accurate, was getting the criticism that he was victimizing himself.
And it was supposed to be like a public joke where people went, oh, he's ReviewTech Canada for a day or whatever on his YouTube channel. I changed it literally for like 20 hours. My first stream was called I'm Fired on My Birthday, which is what technically happened. And it was a joke.
In the overall picture, it did not matter because Rich was far more aggressive and a dam was beginning to leak. As Rich previously brought forward all reasons why Jay should be disliked, users were finding more and more reasons why Rich should be felled. This was becoming a rabbit hole as one event was hooked to another, and slowly his controversial history was being dug up, like this podcast that he did with Jay.
How many times did he bring up people hate him?
Yeah,
during the streams. Constantly. He in the last, I'd say 6 months, if you go back, he was proud of the fact that people didn't like him. And when we would stream together, and this is something I never talked about, he had Ethan Ralph's ex-wife on the show, quote unquote.
This was an event that happened just 2 months ago in the period that Jay and Rich still streamed together, when the alleged ex-wife of a controversial creator was interviewed. Naturally, it was a troll that strung Rich along for nearly 30 minutes. The troll then linked the call to a different troll that Rich willingly accepted.
Did you ever see that time where because you kept mentioning the hard R before, did you ever see when he was talking about the hard R?
Yes.
It meant something different when he said it.
Okay.
Yeah, was that the video you're talking about?
You know that hard R means, well, I don't want to say it, but.
Well, we said rape before.
Yeah, okay, so I can say it? Are you saying I can say it?
Yeah, you could say
You're giving me the pass? Hard R means...
The troll goes on to say the N-word, and Rich and Jay fully understand the situation they were in. More of these moments that make Rich a fool would come to light if he continued this crusade. And it seemed that Rich was fully committed to do so as he announced he would be on the podcast Locale Live. But then walked it back soon after.
Dude, Locale
We're doing a
Live's
video on my channel, and we're both going to be candid. We're going to be professional. We're going to be civil. No one's going to yell. Yeah, I'm not going to do the Locale podcast. This is better. Not going to go on there.
This video did not come, and the truce lasted only 4 days. It was this tweet of Jay's that possibly reignited the flame. stating that he was going to do an interview with Darkside Phil, but it was going to be a positive one because he was sick of all the negativity. Rich sought to ruin this opportunity by exposing the time Jay talked negatively about Phil. Rich then went on to tweet that Jay tried to extort him over the phone, but being that it wasn't recorded, there is no existing proof. Jay then responded to Rich, and this soon became back and forth. Rich stated that his channel would outperform Jay's a year from now, and Jay responded by saying that Rich has a clear advantage, while adding that he would not recommend working for Rich. This ended with Jay calling Rich a crazy ex, and also calling him by a nickname, Dickie. Just like the fake ex-wife Rich interviewed, this was also a nugget into Rich's humiliating history. Specifically, this old video of Rich talking about one of his prior jobs where a strung-out coworker gave him a disparaging nickname.
He continues on and goes,
"What was it, Dickie?"
Even better. I'm gonna call you Dickers. You are Dickers!
Wait, I want to see this Peach. I want to see Peach clip here. There it is. Let's see. What am I looking at?
You were gone a while. How are you feeling?
I'm infected, but good to go.
Yeah, that's great. Sorry about this.
What? Sorry about what?
About that. On behalf of all...
I don't know what that clip was. I don't know what you were... What was going on.
Because of the resurfacing of this nickname, Dickers is what detractors of Rich would derisively refer to him as. In retaliation to Jay's tweet, Rich finally went on the Locale Live podcast where he breaks down the situation.
What I'm saying is, when I hear your point of view, I'm on your side. I would really like Jay to get here to hear Jay's point of view on this, but
I would love him here too.
Everything that I'm hearing, I have to side with Rich.
Though Keemstar points out that Jay was not present to deliver his point of view, he does side with Rich. And with Rich now feeling justified and victorious, he makes it abundantly clear that he is done with the Jay drama, even considering the times he said he was done before, to then only jump back in.
I am going to say to people, please refer to this, whatever episode this is. That's it. Like, I don't want to talk about him anymore. I don't want to, like, I'm done. Like, yeah, I know I've went back and forth out of anger.
Rich also reveals a few details of this upcoming high-quality project that is supposed to set the tone for the future of his channel.
It's a retrospective on the industry and how it's fucked right now, and it's about 40 minutes long, and I, to the best of my ability, tried to make it like as close as I can.
Industry as in like YouTube, or like industry as like
gaming, how it's changed and how the industry right now is like in limbo, kind of like me. And it's fucked, and I kind of just go and I just went balls deep into it. So it's like 40 minutes long.
His description of this project was very broad, but that wasn't what Rich was talking about now on his stream.
Dude, I was on the Locale podcast today. I put the final nail in Jay's fucking live streaming career.
Why would he do this? Why would he do this? The last part was supposed to be the end of the drama. You just said it.
I'm feeling pretty good, actually. No, it'll never be worked out. We will never be friends again.
Rich, still in this high, now challenges 8-Bit Eric.
I ruined one career. Let me ruin another one. You're trying to hurt my fucking career, so come on the show. Let's see if I can go 2 for 2 today.
8-Bit Eric responds the same day, confused at Rich's challenge.
You said sorry to me. You sent me an apology. Apology didn't mean jack, because look how you're acting. It's a cycle. You need help. All right?
Perhaps this is a mental lapse, though Rich doesn't seem to think so.
You're right. I have to admit, because then I'll be no better than I do need help. I have more issues now. I've always had issues, I'll admit it. I have more issues now, especially after the events that happened. And it does reflect.
Did his daughter
die?
The
cherry on top was Rich's reason for feeling vindicated was his appearance on Locale Live. But that was not even uploaded officially to their channel.
I forgot the episode isn't up yet. A lot of you don't understand. I'm sorry.
There was at least a few days of silence. This could have ended here, but then Jay, on his live stream, received a donation from what appeared to be at first glance a random fan.
Hey Jay, I love the show and think you're doing a great job. However, I think it's disingenuous that you said that Rich copied your humor. Why lie?
Yeah, I didn't lie. I don't know about the part. I never said that Rich stole my humor. I said that Rich and I developed all the humor together.
Jay, suspicious about this donation, likely looked at the PayPal address, which confirmed his suspicions.
Are you kidding me? Okay. I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Jay, in disbelief that Rich would do something this stupid, held off on informing his audience and streamed as usual until he was interrupted by another donation.
Why did you not go on a show with Rich when Rich went on the Lolco podcast? He's awful. But if you had nothing to hide,
is it Rich?
Why they'd going on a stream with him? You went on a podcast.
What?
Wouldn't it be better to clear the air with him there?
And then another.
Oh, brother.
And another.
Maybe you won't come on a stream because you have a lot to hide.
Oh, man. White Lando says, I wonder who that actually is. And somebody else says, people have no life. Anyways.
This was brought to the attention of Rich, who then openly admitted those came from him.
Yeah.
If I wanted to, say something, I wanted to be a sexy lady. Enjoy the money, Jay. That's all you got to worry about.
This was all happening while Rich was killing his channel.
Why would he do that?
He had very few allies, and even the locale podcast that he thought vindicated him were not so supportive.
Dude, his show is garbage. So I'll click on it every once in a while to see what's going on, right? And every time I'm on there, he's playing with his boobs, and he's got chickens, and he's making gay jokes. Like, I'm gonna fuck my editor. Like, I'm gonna fuck you in the ass, and it's gonna feel... It's like, what? What is going on?
For the 5th month in a row, his views were on a fast decline. What was meant to bring them up was his high-quality video that he had been promoting for several months now. It was unfortunate it released on April 1st. These are the first 14 seconds of the video with absolutely no alteration made.
Ban Amber Heard's third, please.
Try to relax your anus. It's time to talk about my man history.
This nearly 40-minute long video that was his gaming retrospective was a phenomenally terrible video. It is presented as Rich's retrospective, but Rich was not anyone prominent in the gaming environment nor introspective, so for him to select himself as the porthole already severely limits interest and relatability as it makes it largely about himself. On that note, it is full of inside jokes and clips that even when understood, do nothing but interrupt the video. The pacing is also entirely off. Instead of an intro or hook, it opens with a disorienting mess of sound effects and commercials. His tone throughout was unconfident and confused. It also has detractive full-length ads of the products he was talking about, not to mention his own cutaways.
Oh yeah.
The comments were all criticizing this work. Quote, I had to make sure I wasn't signed to Netflix. This man hyped up this video saying it would be 40 minutes long, and most of it is just trailers to make a 5-minute video longer. I think this video was way overhyped. I thought we were gonna get an actual video essay with a solid script and good editing. This only feels like a regular RTU rambling video, but longer and some random clips. Unquote. Rich's video was not entirely without value. It still provided a decent amount of entertainment, just not in the way he anticipated.
Read this one, man. That's a great one.
I can see why you had an editor before, because this is a rough cut at best. And honestly, you being high out of your mind is
hysterical.
That was from the Kino Casino live stream, segments of which are uploaded to their Clips channel on YouTube. As Rich's channel was dying, his own videos were fighting a losing battle against various channels tearing him down. Searching ReviewTechUSA now will return some of his videos, but mostly the Kino Casino clips and Snort Hogan's own videos.
I'm gonna call you Dickers. You!
He gets get called Dickers every day at work.
You're dickers. Imagine telling this story of when you got pressed.
The dam finally broke all at once. The Kino Casino was resurfacing the Big Cheese drama. Rich's doxing, the new egg fiasco, the times his mother interrupted his stream, theories about his weight loss, his falling out with Jay, all of his history and more, like his dating profile, even looking into when his Discord server had an NSFW section and a user uploaded imagery that wasn't taken down.
There's not wrong
He
with
shows,
the NSW
hey, like 4 years ago,
section.
the mods were added about this and they swept up the lolicon. And he asks, why did you keep lolly on your public channel, Rich, for years?
Additionally, there was this video of Rich shouting in a mall to win an online spat.
All right, everybody, I'm spreading the breaking news that the quartering is a giant pussy in public. So here we go. Here we go.
Hello, everybody. I have breaking news. The quartering is a giant pussy. Thank you.
That's really funny.
That's all.
The Kino Casino was covering Rich's history and watching his live streams heavily during the month of April.
I didn't know
As
this.
it turned out, Rich was watching them as well.
Seems pretty funny.
Wait.
So was he...
Did he have it open by accident?
I think he had it open by accident, and then our stream started playing.
No way!
Like our pre-stream.
That is her. He had her stream open, bro. You're right.
The importance of this catch was that both Rich's stream and the Kino Casinos were live simultaneously. The Kino Casino dug up some minor drama and titled their stream ReviewTechUSA Exposed. Rich, likely seeing this, decided to address what he thought the drama was. A miscalculation that opened up a can of worms no one knew about but him.
All of a sudden, I'm looking in Dropbox, and if you have the Dropbox app, for those of you who are familiar, you see like the recent, whether it be apps or files that you've been using, and I'm like, why the f am I seeing pictures of my ex's other kids?
What Rich just admitted was that his Dropbox was recently hacked. The hack was of Canadian origin. Within that Dropbox were images of his ex's kids in bikinis, but it was set up in that way because they all had a shared account. Rich verifies the story by calling who he claims to be his ex-wife.
Quick question for you. As you're sleeping, those pictures in my Dropbox, why are they there?
Because my kids used to upload their phones to our Dropbox.
Before they sold them, correct?
Yeah. Before they traded them back in.
Okay, that's all. Go back to sleep.
As these streams are going on, suddenly the pieces are falling into place as to why Rich decided to come forward with the existence of these photos.
We had Rich exposed literally about something completely different, and he thought he was hacked. He was using a VPN that had Saint Sue Marie apparently or some shit on the VPN, and he thought we went through his Dropbox.
How stupid is this guy?
I don't know.
There were many theories crafted that were not generous in explaining why those photos.
I mean, he's not mentally there. His daughter was having problems. His 2 sons were with him. He seems like a really nice guy. He did a lot of good work, okay? I think it's time we leave Rich alone, to be honest. He just has problems. And I mean, he seems like a good person. He does. And no matter the doxing, yeah, he has insecurity problems, and yeah, he gets a little angry. But at the heart of it all, he doesn't seem like a bad person. Also, his ex's kids in bikinis, that's a little sus, but he has a reasonable explanation. I don't think it's any pedo stuff. I think it's fine.
Were on there. The facts are that in May 2024, ReviewTech was at its lowest point in over 10 years. It is a dead channel. This is not drawn from its decline or speculation of its future. ReviewTechUSA is a dead channel because on May 21st, 2024, Rich posted this goodbye video.
I'm over what at least ReviewTechUSA was. I did this for over a decade. Over a decade. I got to sit in front of a camera and be an idiot for a living.
Rich in this video also explained he had some personal, possibly family-related things he was dealing with last month. As for his channel, he reiterates that he is tired of the news and is giving up on it, but will post every now and then if something catches his interest. His efforts going forward will be in live streaming and his music production, but it was not even an entire 24 hours later that he posted another news video. Here he excuses his immediate comeback as a contractual obligation for his sponsor. None of the top comments are discussing the subject of the video, but rather Rich's short-lived goodbye. This is not the first time this happened. Even barring all the videos Rich has made, stating that he is seeking to make a different form of content, in 2022, in response to YouTube's inaction of Quantum TV, Rich tweeted he is, quote, officially retiring from making conventional videos on ReviewTechUSA. YouTube has made it abundantly clear that my kind of content either has to be heavily censored or is no longer welcome on the platform, unquote. This did not last, and he returned. And as of June 2024, Rich and Jay have made up once again. ReviewTechUSA is hovering around 300,000 views for the past 30 days. It has been abandoned. Though Rich can still be found on his streaming channel RTU Streams, where he streams intoxicated. Like all creators that stream, his audience is drawn closer to him, therefore increasing the interactions between him and his building detractor base. Everything in the past 10 years has been building up to this moment. From Rich's controversial past that serves as a base for the hate, to the killing of his channel which provides discovery to detractor channels, and the tragedies in his personal life that have skyrocketed his anxiety, which has him responding both impulsively and angrily.
To be admired at some point.
Rich has now completed his transition. Not to how he wanted to see himself as a respected content creator that creates long-form passion projects that are beloved, but as the laughingstock that constantly shifts in his intentions,
I never
how he
watched any
views
of his
his
streams,
relationships,
but I still
and how he
admire the
sees his
videos he's
future,
made.
that is hard to see as anything but grim.
I liked the news he did. I liked his stories. He might have a dead channel. He might not make any videos anymore, but man, was he a good person. I honestly think that I would admire the way he was. I do. I think he could have been that great of a person. Okay, well, we have one video left here.